There are hundreds of clone characters in the Star Wars universe, both in Legends and canon, and though most of these clones don't even have a paragraph's worth of distinct backstory, there are many cool one-off characters that get caught up among them, as we illustrated in the first video of this type. Considering how well the first Unknown Clones video was received, we figured we'd do another one by popular demand. And so, without further ado, we give you Unknown Clones 2, Electric Boogaloo. Our first entry is probably familiar to most of you, but there's actually more to his story than meets the eye. In the very first episode of Star Wars The Clone Wars, Lieutenant Thire of the Coruscant Guard serves as leader of a small group of clones that accompanies Yoda to Rugosa to negotiate with King Kotunko. But his story didn't end with that episode. Thire went on to be promoted to commander, and along with Republic Intelligence's infamous director, Armand Issard, he was responsible for the creation of Homeworld Security Command, which essentially put all of Coruscant in a state of military lockdown for the rest of the war. Alongside Commander Appo, Thire fought to stop the Confederacy from capturing the Senate during the Battle of Coruscant, though he was unable to stop Palpatine from being kidnapped. Thire actually appears in Revenge of the Sith. Ironically, he's the shock trooper command that Palpatine orders to search for Yoda's body after their battle in the Senate. CRC 09/571 is not a name that many people are familiar with, but it's almost a guarantee that all of you have seen him. 71, as he was often called, became the first ever clone liaison for a Jedi General during the Battle of Geonosis, when he worked with Yoda himself to coordinate SPHA-T fire on the Trade Federation's core ships, as was seen in Attack of the Clones. In addition, 71 was one of only a few clones to survive the catastrophically bloody Battle of Tyr, and also served alongside Mace Windu in the Battle of Harun Kal. Unfortunately, that last battle cost him his life when he was murdered by Kar Vastor. Clone Trooper CT-1226 is important because of one defining trait: he fell in a hole. This trooper, who had no known nickname, was part of the first Battle of Geonosis, where he was part of the assault on a major CIS stronghold. During the battle, 1226 was momentarily taken out of action when a malfunctioning ATTE fired on his unit, though he ended up surviving, albeit with a broken HUD. The rest of his story was pure luck. He awoke in a crater to watch a Hailfire droid drive overhead, which was followed by a B-2 HA artillery battle droid. He opened fire on the B-2 and was able to knock it over, resulting in it shooting its missile at the Hailfire. This saved the many clone lives, and CT-1226 got a commendation for his actions, though he tried to refuse it, saying that the smartest thing he had done was fall in a hole. Comet was a corporal in the famous Wolfpack who was one of the unit's most frequently appearing characters. His first notable appearance was in the Battle of Korm, the same battle in which Commander Wolf lost an eye. During that battle, he had to deal with the incompetence of Major Ozzel, the same Ozzel that Darth Vader would later choke to death for his boneheaded stupidity in commanding the initial assault on Hoth. Comet was instrumental in the Republic's victory on Korm and went on to participate in a long list of rescue missions, including missions on Vancor, Lola Seyu, Kadavo, and if you count on it, the moon of Obadiah. He also fought in the Second Battle of Felucia. Commander Phil was a veteran clone assigned as liaison to newly knighted Nadar Veb, for whom he was a good match, or a bad match, depending on how you view their command styles. Like Veb, Phil was perhaps excessively eager and determined, though Phil had a bit more of a grasp on battlefield tactics. The two served together in several battles before participating in a fateful mission to the third moon of Vasek. On Vasek, Phil's skill allowed him to survive the initial encounters with General Grievous, but he ultimately met his match in the form of Gore, Grievous's pet Rogwart. Commander Jet was another one-off commander from Star Wars The Clone Wars. He was Ki-Adi-Mundi's clone liaison during the Second Battle of Geonosis, which would suggest that he might have been part of the Galactic Marines, though this is completely unconfirmed. Jet was a resourceful commander and competent tactician who prepared heavily for combat. He was trained in a surprisingly wide variety of combat types, yet another indicator that he might have been a Galactic Marine. Commander Stone was yet another commander in the Coruscant Guard who was assigned to diplomatic escort duties. Most notably, he served in this role in an ill-fated mission to Florum, where he was in charge of protecting Senator Karros and Representative Jar Jar Binks. Stone was a fairly shrewd commander. He had a good tactical sense, and though he knew and followed military protocol, he was not incapable of improvisation. Stone saved Binks' life twice during the mission to Florum, and was ultimately instrumental in rescuing Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi from Hondo Ohnaka. We might know next to nothing about him, but things would be amiss if we failed to mention this absolute madman. Commander Tromel was an ARF Trooper commander, a clone commander variant not seen all that often. All we know about him was that he was present on Deveron during the battle for the Temple of Edith, and was unlucky enough to be one of the first clones to encounter Savage Opress, who charged at Trauma and his men with a large pike. But did Commander Trauma back away? Did he order his men to fire at his exposed head from a distance? Did he take any reasonable precautions that one should take when being charged by a freakishly massive Zabrak warrior with an enchanted pike that can take a blaster bolt right to the chest and survive? No, he did not. Instead, he ordered his men to get him and proceeded to lead what remained of his unit in a charge right towards Savage. Needless to say, all of them were summarily butchered. So as per usual guys, what do you think? Do you want to see a part 3 of this with clones mentioned in comics and more obscure sources? Because we definitely don't have enough to do this just based on the Clone Wars and on the prequels. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below and what you want us to do next. And just before you go guys, make sure you check out all the links in the description below if you want to join the wider Geetsly's community, including those on the Discord and on our gaming servers, including Gmod and Roblox. They're a lot of fun guys. You can game with your community and talk with your community outside of the YouTube comment section, so make sure you check out all those links, all located in the description below. Anyways guys, as always, thank you for watching and I hope to see you in the next video.